watching CTV on the Higher Learning Network. Check it out.
The Female Solution Global Radio TV Show invites you to an invigorating conversation with our team of hosts Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Time. Start your week with Monday Morning Mindfulness with Zelda Speaks. Tuesdays, Self-Cell Care with Jody Susan. Wednesdays, Repairing Broken Families with Naima Latif and co-host Kareem Hamid. Thursdays, Soulful Solutions with Dr. Debbie Green. And Fridays, Health and Wellbeing with Beata. Saturdays, tune in 12 noon to 2 p.m. Central Time. First Saturday, Success Strategies with Jana. Second Saturday, Wendy Williams Esquire on relationships. Third Saturday, Move Around with Deborah. And fourth Saturday, Wisdom with Mama D. Join us Sundays, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Central Time for Soul Purpose Healing with Beata. Call in and comment 515-605-9325. Press 1 to speak to the host and be a part of the solution.
Love you on Windy City Live. Yes, we do. Tell us, how did all this happen? How did this come about?
Well, I play me. I play Val Warner in Chirac, which is really cool. So when people see this movie, they are literally seeing Val, and I am a reporter in the movie.
We talk about the violence, but what can we do personally?
I think we got to be engaged, and I think engaged in a number of things. In our block, in our home, in our neighborhood, we got to be engaged. We got to fight the issues. We got to fight a government that is abandoned, whole communities on the south and the west side. We got to fight a governor who's cut out every youth employment program, who's cut out violence prevention programs, who's abandoned our communities and the poor and the vulnerable. And I think we got to reach out to our brothers on the street and love them and respect them and help them, not just demonize them.
I'll just say like this. First of all, give you the history of coming to Chicago and telling my jokes as a young cat. I'm 37 now. I started about almost 15 years ago. Elroy taking me under his wing, letting me do some jokes here and there for the radio stations and all that kind of stuff.
I learned that no matter what you do and how much of a genuine heart you have, and if you're coming from a good place, people are going to criticize if they don't agree with what you're doing.
Yo, what's up? It's your man Tony Schofield from 106.3 Chicago's R&B, and you are watching Men on Higher Learning. Now, I used to hang around with some men that was into some higher learning. It just wasn't that kind of higher learning, but I got myself together now, okay?
What is it that you do in your quiet time, in your meditation time, that allows you to bring us the films that you do?
I sit courtside in Madison Square Garden, world's most famous arena.
And you're watching CTV on the Higher Learning Network. Check it out.
Grand Rising, and thank you so much for joining me. I'm your host, Zelda Speaks, the stressologist. Any stress in your life? Well, most of us do. Unfortunately, we don't know what to do with that stress, especially as it relates to worry. I was once a worried about everything, and I finally figured it out with some training. Yeah, I've been certified with the American Society of Training and Development, National Speakers Association, and a host of others. But none of those organizations helped me stop worrying. They just gave me validation for the public to see what credentials I have. So the credentials I have now are from life experience, and I've learned how not to worry. And you can learn how not to worry too, because it is indoctrinated in us to worry. We don't have the answers, so We think the worst is going to happen. Well, I got a solution to that. And that is the Worry Workshop. So I'm going to pull that up for you on my blog. Why do you worry when you don't have to? Go to my blog, zeldaspeaks.wordpress.com, and you can sign up right there and find out how you. And remember, sharing is caring. If you care about yourself and your loved ones, help them see their way out of a mess. Give them the gift. It makes a great birthday gift. It makes a great holiday gift. So instead of running to the store getting something that they really might not need, give them a worry-free life. Give them the gift of a worry-free existence. And thanks for sharing. Make it a great day. Grand rising. It is thundering. I almost couldn't get access there for a minute. Grand rising. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. I'm your host, Zelda Speaks, trying to figure out this lighting here this morning with the ring light and the light behind me. It's a challenge, but we are broadcasting live from Montego Bay, Jamaica, man. As they say here, Mo-Bay. Yeah, Mo-Bay. Grand rising. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm your host, Zelda Speaks. Welcome to Monday Morning Mindfulness on the Higher Learning Network TV show on the Female Solution. It is an honor and a privilege to be here with you this morning because we are live and we want to share with you the wonderful experience that we're having here in Jamaica. And we're just here to start your week off, as always, with Monday Morning Mindfulness stress relief. Honey, there is no stress here. So I'm very grateful to be in this place. I don't even have to do traffic this morning. It is Monday, December 11th, and the topic is holiday blues. How do you handle them? Well, we will be joined at the 8 o'clock hour with veteran mental health clinician Khaled Scott. And he will be giving us some tips on how to handle the challenges, because lots of times, it's our kinfolk who just cause chaos because that's what they do. So we're going to talk about that. If you are just joining us, we will be joined shortly by our executive producer, Naima Latif of the Female Solution. Female Solution. Did I say Female Solution? No, the Female Solution. Let me get the words out right. Okay. I want to hear a funny story. I'll tell you a little bit. If you're watching online, you see that I have my Jamaica cup here in front of me. I just went to the kitchen. They started serving breakfast at 7 o'clock. So I got some pineapple, some, what's that other orange fruit? Papaya, and a lemon in my tea. No problem, man. While I'm jamming in Jamaica, I had to get a cup because I'm a tea girl, right? And the tea is all good in the neighborhood. If you're listening online this morning, thank you so much for joining us. And you'll be able to call in at 515-605-9325. Press 1 to speak. Oh, did you hear that? Can you hear that? Can you hear the thunder? I don't care what it do. I'm in Jamaica. I can sit there because the restaurant is inside, but it's all open. You can sit outside by the pool. You can sit on the beach because you can walk right to the beach right there. I mean, it's just right there, so just walk to it. Anyway, if you are listening online, you know that I usually do traffic at this time, but honey, there is no traffic here. Everybody laid back and slow, so why even bother? I'm not in the States. I am in Montego Bay, Jamaica. That's what they call it, Mube. So I call it Mube too. Yeah, man, we be Irish man this morning, and what you see in this cup is not alcohol. It's 7 o'clock in the morning, baby. You see this? It's tea. Okay, I'm just naturally cheery when I wake up because I woke up. Aren't you? Should be if you're not be, because somebody didn't wake up this morning. Look at you. How long you on? Just woke up feeling good. But I am going to say that Traffic and Weather is sponsored by Karen Kelly of itex.com, even though there is no traffic this morning. I always want to remind our business owners and entrepreneurs, if you have a product or service, if you have something to sell that somebody needs, and you are not a member of a barter group, you are wasting your money because you could be getting it free. And you see that little head in the background? That was Darrylyn. That's my travel buddy who, yep, you see her hand. Darrylyn says, it's a little bit too early for me, honey. I just stay half from the bed, right on. So give a shout out to Walter, her wonderful husband, for allowing us to come and stay down here a week. And to my husband, Tony Hopes, thank you for allowing me to be away from you for a whole week. Because it's just nice to be somewhere where it's warm and you feel the love and not all the chaos and confusion and the traffic in Chicago. Anyway, I digress. Traffic is sponsored by Karen Kelly of itex.com. If you are a business owner or entrepreneur, you can get $100 immediately to go shopping. And they put it on your account. They don't put it in your hand. But you must use the code, the promo code Zelda Speaks, so that you can get that $100 right away and begin the shopping process. And just remember, you learned it here on the Higher Learning Network and the Female Solution podcast. So just go to https, or just type in chicago.itex.com. How about that? And all the information is there. Always giving thanks to the ancestors. There is no way that we could do the work that we do if somebody hadn't come before us and made our way possible. So I give thanks to the ancestors. And I know they are here with me this morning because they have been here all weekend, all week. And you can feel it. It's something hard to explain. You have to feel it. So that's what I'm feeling, and I hope you're feeling it too. We got a couple of comments up here. Roger Eric Buford. Good morning. Worry fever. Worry-free vibes to you. Grand Rising. Worry-free vibes to you too, Roger Eric Buford. If you're watching online on our Facebook or YouTube channel, Higher Learning TV show, let us know what city, state, or country that you're watching us from, because I'm usually in the U.S., but we're in Jamaica today, so I'd like to know where you're watching from. And thank you so much for sharing this video this morning and letting everybody know that Monday morning mindfulness is on. And if you have any issues of your relatives coming over for the holiday, I know it's going to be some drama, because it always is. Somebody always got to start some stuff. What can I say? You can post your comments on our YouTube and Facebook channel, Higher Learning TV show. And excuse me, if you have been indulging in a little food that may not be of your best interest, like sweet potato pie, German chocolate cake, pound cake, lemon cake, cookies and, just kind of overdo it for the holidays. And, you feel your energy drink. Because that's what the sugar does. It really slows you down. It boosts you up and slows you down. Go to diabeticdonut.com. And I share the story there, how I reversed type 2 diabetes. Now, I must admit, I was on metformin, the drug metformin, for a year. And it got my diabetes under control. And once I realized what it was doing to my kidneys and the other organs in my body, I said, I don't want to be on this the rest of my life. So I did take it for a year, got my numbers down. And my sister went to a nutritional community garden somewhere in Iowa where all the health fanatics go and learn the stuff and bring it back and share it with us. So she shared it with me, what someone shared with her. And it's a drink that I drink, that I'm usually drinking in the morning: apple, beet, cucumber, lemon, ginger, kale, turmeric. 7 ingredients, and put it all in a blender, add some alkaline water, and you drink that once or twice a day. And I promise you, you will not only feel better, but when you go back to the doctor and your numbers are steady dropping and they ask you what you're doing, you can tell them what you're doing, okay? But this morning I'm not drinking that because I didn't bring all that. I said it won't kill me not to be for a week, because I have this at this hotel. This is $100 right here. No, I'm just kidding. It's worth $100 to me, I would say, because this is ginger, raw ginger, and it is so powerful. They put it in everything. You wonder why Jamaicans look so good, Mom? Because they know what to drink, Mom. And last night I had one of these, had a little rum in it. Tell nobody. But not in this one. This is breakfast. Oh, yeah, it's so good. But I know you're used to me drinking my tea. See my little Jamaica cup. Jamaica, yeah, man. You see the girls are dancing, yeah, man. And then they say, no problem, man. Yeah, there's no problems here this morning, man. I am doing just fine. And I thank you for joining me here this morning. So I told you, go to diabeticdonut.com. Be sure and set your DVRs for the Higher Learning Network TV show, which airs Tuesdays at 6, Wednesdays at 1 on Channel 19, and 24/7 on the World Wide Web. And that is all of the PSAs. And I do believe it's time for your Monday morning mindfulness meditation. Happy Monday. Oh, that is so cute. And I don't see it from Mike. So I will just do a little something for you this morning, because I can feel the energy of the ancestors here with me this morning. So I just ask that we do a little stretch. We're gonna always stretch. We might miss the word, but the word is in the movement, because the word tells you to take care of the temple. And the temple is this space that we occupy on the planet. It's called the body. So let us move the body. And I have been walking. I have not been to the gym, but I have been walking, because the older you get, body needs movement. I mean, all throughout your life, the body. We get plenty of it when we're kids, but when we get old, we get lazy, especially from America. You just don't feel like working out. But walking, you can always walk, and it's free. You don't need a membership. Excuse me. So we're just gonna stretch and move from side to side, like we always do the Higher Learning hip row. Why does this light keep going in and out? I don't know. There you go. Maybe, hopefully that'll make it better. Okay, whatever. Just stretch. And rotate those shoulders backwards and forwards, and forwards and backwards and forward. We can just move this morning, giving thanks that all of this energy that is within is awake and alive and feeling good and doing its thing. So, as we continue the movement this morning, we're going to move from the inside out. How are we going to do this, Zell? We do that with the power of the breath. Now, is that something you can do with? Sure it is. Excuse me. So let's do it together. Let me get a little sippy sip here of my ginger. Okay? We will simply begin the process by breathing in and breathing out. It's real simple. Breathe in through the nose. And once you breathe in, you're going to blow it out. Inhale deeply. And exhale. And as you inhale and exhale, your eyes are closed. You should not be looking at me. We don't have to breathe together, but we do have to breathe. We simply inhale. And as you inhale, you should feel your chest expand. If your chest is not expanding, chances are you're not inhaling deep enough, because that is the experience. The breath is the experience, but you've got to feel it. So we breathe in and we breathe out. Breathe in once more and breathe out. Like that. Yeah, it feels good, doesn't it? Yeah, I know. That's why we do it. Because the breath can take you places that your body can't get to on its own. How about that? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so continue breathing in, breathing out. And exhale. Giving thanks for the power of the breath. Because someone, somewhere, is not as lucky as you. They don't have the breath. Or if they have the breath, they're being challenged. Respiratory issues, body ailments, just not feeling good. It's all a process. And we give thanks for the process of the breath as we breathe in. And as we breathe out, exhale, blow it out. Breathe in again, feel the chest expand. Hold it. And breathe out. Once more, breathe in. Hold it. And breathe out. And as you continue to breathe in and breathe out, excuse me, giving thanks for the power of the breath as it moves through your body. And now as we breathe in and breathe out, we're going to give it directions. So let's take all that breath, all that breathing to the top of the head. Inhale deeply. Bringing that energy up from the top of the head, down through the forehead, the face, the chin, and landing on the shoulders. And we breathe out. Rotate those shoulders backwards and forward. Inhale deeply. And as we exhale, bring more love, light, and energy of the breath down through the heart chakra and the sides. As we continue to do the higher learning hip roll, as we move from side to side, because you know we sit all day and we need movement. As we breathe in and as we breathe out, we give thanks for the power of the breath as it moves down through our back and our buttocks and our thighs and our knees. Oh yes, giving thanks for those glorious knees that bend and move and carry us throughout the day. Because somebody somewhere is in a wheelchair or has some limbs missing or having trouble walking. I saw a couple of ladies in the cafeteria in the where we eat, in the restaurant where we eat. And you're walking real slow, probably because you're in pain. So we give thanks that we recognize that that pain is there for a reason, to remind us that there's something else we just might need to be doing. So inhale deeply. And as we exhale, take that breath and send it more down to those knees. Yes, those glorious knees and those legs and those ankles and those top and bottom of the feet as we breathe in. And as we breathe out, sending more love, light, and energy down to the toes. And the toes, yes, wiggle those toes, feel that energy, and bring that energy right on back up, back to the ankles and the legs and the knees as we breathe in. Hold it. And as we breathe out. Are you breathing with me or are you just watching me? I got my eye on you as we inhale deeply. Let's breathe in together. Hold it. And stretch again. Giving thanks for the power of the breath as we breathe in. And as we breathe out. Breathe in once more. Bringing the energy of the breath back up through the solar plexus and the arms as we move from side to side and stretch and rotate those shoulders backwards and forward. Just get a little movement, giving thanks for the heart and the brain as we breathe in. Giving directions to the rest of the body as we give thanks for the heart, the liver, the lung, the spleen, the spine, the pancreas, the assimilation, the digestion, and the elimination. Most important, because whatever you take in, it needs to come out. Because we got a lot of garbage in us. I don't care who you are, where you are, some garbage in you somewhere. So it needs to flush. As we breathe in, we give thanks for the power of the breath as it cleanses and re-energizes us like never before. Because that's what the power of the breath can do. As we breathe in, hold it, and as we breathe out. And let's take these two fingers and the thumb and squeeze the back of that neck and right up under the nape of your head. And this is what I do. I take my fingers and do this on the back of my neck, because that's where the vagus nerve is, and you want to stimulate it. You know, it runs all up here, so you can do all of this if you want to. You know, just touch it. Touch the body. You touch everybody else's body, touch your own body. How about that? And stimulate what's going on in your head in the morning. Vagus nerve runs all the way through the body. And a lot of us carry stress. I know I carry my stress in my shoulders. That's why I need my shoulders like that. And that's something that you can do too, because it feels so good. Just get a body what it needs. It just loves love. And we're in a country that just loves to love. Everybody's so loving. I don't know what else to call it, but just so appreciative. I mean, it's everywhere. It's like an epidemic. I love it. Everybody's yes, mom, and no, mom. You know, I regretted growing older when I was younger because I didn't know no better. Well, I know better now, and I'm loving it because they say it's greater later. Is that right, Darrylyn? It's greater later. She said, you better ask somebody as I take a sip out of my Jamaica cup, because it's all I remind. Yeah, man. You get you a cup and sip too. So let us finish this breathing here. I'm sorry, I digress. I do that. I'm just enjoying it so much, and I hope you are too. As we breathe in, hold it. And as we exhale, bring the head forward, chin to chest, and blow it out. And rotate that head to the left all the way around. Slow down, you're moving too fast. I want you to feel that stretch of the neck. There you go. Bring it all the way around to the right. Yep, there you go. Bring it on around. Bring it on back to the middle. Head up, inhale deeply. And as you exhale, bring your head back down, chin to chest, and slowly rotate that head to the right. Slowly. You should just be getting around to the back, feeling that stretch in the whole neck, and rotating the neck around to the left, slowly bringing it back around to the front. Head up, inhale deeply, and blow it out to the nose. And just sit with that breath for just a moment, because you are one of the few, not one of the many, one of the few who is taking the time to love on yourself. And you do that through the breath. Isn't that wonderful? And I am beginning to sweat, and I am loving it. That's all I've been doing, is just sweating and wiping. Because the tea is hot, the ginger is hot, and I'm hot. And I'm loving it. I'm a hot weather girl. I'm born in a hot month, so I just love me some, give me some heat. So as you go about your day, you will be challenged from the moment you wake up to the time your head hit the pillow at night. So just know that when you are experiencing chaos and confusion, instead of getting mad, just start breathing. Especially if you're being attacked by someone, mentally, physically, emotionally, doesn't matter. Just start breathing. You do that, and people gonna look, what's wrong? What's wrong with them? What's she breathing like that? You she okay? And if you got a little garlic, a little onions on your breath, and you go, and then you go, I promise you get a little funk on your breath. Oh, they're gonna leave you alone because they don't want to smell your bad breath, unless they in the bad breath. But just throw that shit in with you. And that's something that you can check out anytime. You can do that anytime, day or night, because people will think you crazy because this is not something that we're taught in the educational system. Well, some things you have to learn on your own and just always be educated, not by the system, but by what your spirit tells you to do. And so that's what we do. And my spirit is telling me that it's time for me to give you the word of the day before we go to our very first break. And I want to share with you Mike House. December 11th. Birthday party, December 11th. I love that. Your life and how you live it is like having the birthday party of your dreams. All right now. You are the celebrant. Therefore, you have the privilege to choose the guests you wish to invite, the gifts you wish to keep, as well as the experiences you wish to entertain. The guests you invite are the beliefs and thoughts that you take with you. Let me say that again. The guests you invite are the beliefs and thoughts that you take with you. The entertainment is the experiences and the emotions that you choose to give power to. Your subconscious mind is a powerhouse receptacle of ideas fed to it by you. It is so obedient that whatever thoughts and ideas are fed to it, it brings into manifestation for you in your life, your world, and your affairs as your gifts. Thus, your ultimate birthday gift would be hold only those thoughts and beliefs that uplift, bless, and produce answered prayers. How about that? Choose carefully, therefore, the guests and entertainment that you hold dear. After all, it is your party, and you are allowed to do and be anything. More than anything, you guard, protect your mind, for your life flows from it. Say that again. More than anything, you guard and protect your mind, for life flows from it. Don't deviate a bit to the right or a bit to the left. Turn your feet away from evil. That's from Proverbs 4:23 and 27. And that's from my fellow journalist, Mike House. Thank you, Mike House. We appreciate you. It is 8:30 a.m. Excuse me. It's 8:30 a.m. in Jamaica. It is 7:30 a.m. in the U.S. And it is time for our Monday morning mindfulness. Excuse me. Commercial break. And I do hope that you enjoyed the breathing, and I do hope that you will share that breathing experience with someone, because we are all under attack, mentally, physically, and emotionally. And it is imperative that we understand that which we experience is a direct result of the thoughts that we have. So I invite you, when you do your shopping, is to remind you that that which you wear on your body has an effect on your spirit. So check this out. Let me know what you think about it. Okay, so now let me go to Blog Talk and play the promo. And I think what I'm going to do is bring on my executive producer so she can run the switchboard from where she is, because I am having a few challenges here. So let us welcome to Jamaica on Higher Learning. Yeah, our very own Naima Latif. Take it away, girl.
Now, are you able to hear your promo is playing? Do you hear it now?
Yes. But you can take it from here because I'm not doing that well.
All right. Well, I got it up on the screen, so yes, we are here. And you can hear breathing with you this morning.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes. So there you are in sunny Jamaica, and you got a little backlight there, so every now and then you go into a...
Yeah, you know what I think I'm going to do is close this, because that's what the problem is.
Yes. Well, of course, I wish I was there, but I'm there in spirit, even though I can't be there physically, but I would love to be experiencing Jamaica. You know, when you go someplace and the atmosphere is peaceful and the people are kind and you're relaxed, then you realize, yes, you know, it helps you. Just being in that atmosphere helps you realize that you create your own reality every day. Create whatever your experience is going to be, and you choose the people you're going to be around to create that experience. So, you know, as you were saying, that there's a lot of stress going on because we're feeling the impact of places where there is a lot of conflict. But I love the way you do these exercises on Monday mornings to help us relax and create inner peace. Your outer environment is a reflection of your inner world. So when you are at peace within, no matter what's happening everywhere else, it doesn't disturb your peace. That's what spiritual masters learn to do, to master this earth environment, this physical world, this present reality. They learn to create the inner peace and take that with them wherever they go. So that is the state they're always in, because we have power to choose what our state of being is going to be. And then we project it wherever we go. So if we're at peace inside, then the words that come out are going to be words that create more peace. That means you can greet people lovingly with a smile. You can say uplifting words. Oh, you're beautiful today. Oh, I love that hairdo. Oh, your outfit is so stunning. You can say kind, uplifting, encouraging words because that's what's inside of you. And so that's what spreads. If inside of you, you are under stress, you're upset because, you know, somebody made you late to work because, you know, the bus was late or the person took a long time getting their money together and So now you're upset, the first person you see, and you're saying snappy things. Then you have just created the conflict and unrest that you are experiencing because of the way you're responding to outside things. And then you mess up somebody else's good mood because you say something ugly to them. And then they're angry and they pass it on. So every day, every single moment of every single day, we are energetically affecting the entire world, starting with ourselves. Just like you see when you toss a pebble into the pool of water and the ripple spread. That's what we are. We're energetically spreading. We're rippling out whatever's inside. We're spreading it. So we can choose to spread the kind of peace that you're experiencing right there in Jamaica, or we could choose to spread stress and anxiety. Every moment of every day, you are rippling out. So choose what you're sending out into the world. It's spreading. And it doesn't have anything to do with what's happening on the outside. It's how you're choosing to create your own inner world of peace and spread that. We're really not responsible for what other people do. So if people are choosing to be in conflict and they're choosing to kill each other, that's a choice that they have made. And as long as they make that choice, they're going to experience the consequences of that choice. Just like, the first person who greeted you today, they had the option of saying a kind word and making you feel good. They had the option of coming up and slapping you in the face. Which one did they choose to do? So because they did not slap you in the face, they didn't get slapped back, y'all didn't end up in a brawl.
Okay.
That was a choice. That was a choice to have a peaceful encounter. Everybody everywhere in the world has that same choice. Now, if you're choosing to create dis-ease, discord, distress, you're choosing that. And no one's making you do that. And it's always a mutual choice. Someone does something and you can respond with your own inner peace, or you can respond in kind if they said or did something negative. But a negative plus a negative equals a greater negative. We all learned that in math, right? So when we choose to put forth positive, even if someone's negative, if our positive is greater than their negative, then the result is still going to be a positive. We also learned that in math. So let's choose to always be more positive than everybody else is negative. And then we'll always exist in the positive. It's a choice. Now, I know that it's distressful in some parts of the world, and Beata talked about this last night, with the distress people feeling about the death and so forth. But again, these are people who have chosen to be in conflict. They've chosen to be in conflict because they could easily choose not to be in conflict. There's nothing stopping them other than what's inside of them. And it's not pleasant. No matter what decision you make, if you choose to hurt someone, it's going to come back to you. Just like if somebody had walked up to you and slapped you in the face, they were going to be in pain a few moments later when you responded with a harder slap. So if we're seeing nations of people keep choosing to hurt each other, it's because they haven't figured out that somebody has to stop. So that somebody will figure out this isn't working. We're not ever going to have peace as long as we're choosing to cause pain. Now, if they can't figure that out, then they'll keep experiencing consequences of not figuring that out. We can choose not to experience what they have caused each other to suffer, because we can choose to be in Jamaica where it's peaceful. And if we're not physically in Jamaica, we can choose to have a state of mind like Jamaica. We can choose to be at peace, and we can choose to be kind to the people that we encounter every day, even as other people are choosing to create distress for others somewhere else. We can choose to focus our attention on what people have chosen to get along. And that becomes our reality.
Makes all the difference in the world. It's a choice. And we don't think about it as a choice, but it is a choice.
It is a choice.
Because you have the responsibility to yourself. You can just react to the nonsense, or you can respond by choosing a way that you're going to react. And sometimes the best way is to react is not to react. And that's not to say anything. Just look at them. I've learned to look at people sometimes as, and I know this sounds kind of crazy, but I'm gonna say it anyway because that's what I do. Sometimes I see people sitting on. I see them. This is something somebody told me in South Africa a long time ago. They said when people act out, they're acting out whatever's going on inside of them. So you have to have sympathy for them. So I either do one of two things. I see them as a patient in need of mental therapy, or I see them naked sitting on a toilet stool. Either one of those calms me down.
Yeah.
So if you come to me and you go off and I don't respond, just know I see you looking for toilet paper. How about that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You hear me with your craziness.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. That's it.
People teach you. They teach us lessons we don't want to learn all the time. It's like, okay, so why am I feeling this way? It's because you have a preconceived notion about how they should have responded to you.
Mm-hmm.
And that makes you go, like Arsenio Hall used to say, things that make you go, Maybe I just won't say nothing. Maybe I'll just let them get what's on their chest off, and I'll just be their bouncing board. I'm not going to say nothing. Okay?
Yeah.
Because I still see you sitting on that toilet.
Mm-hmm.
And I know if you're sitting on that toilet and you've been sitting there a while, you're probably a little uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
That uncomfortableness is going to come out one end or the other.
That's right.
Yeah.
Whatever's inside of you is going to come out one way or another. So when people choose to have things that are unclean come out of their mouth, that's where they've chosen to let it out.
And what can you do about it? You can react or respond. And a great stress relief tip is not to react at all.
At all.
You simply stop and think.
Mm-hmm.
And once you've thought about it clearly, then you can respond.
Yeah.
Because our first attempt is to just like, okay, so you attack me physically, mentally, or emotionally, so I'm going to attack you right back. But what does that resolve? Nothing.
Right. Nothing.
And you still got that negative energy in you. So what do you do?
Yeah. So you have to what is that saying? I'm rubber, you're glue, whatever you say bounces off of me and sticks to you.
Yes. I love that.
So, I mean, that's how we have to respond when people choose to spew out negativity. Let it bounce right off you and go right back to them. Don't even absorb.
And the holidays are the most days. Family gets together and, we still got unresolved issues from last year or 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago, and you still holding on to that. What is wrong with you?
Yeah. Everything.
In the words of Layla Hathaway, that was then, this is now. Let it go, baby. Let it go.
Let it go. And I have been at family gatherings of people, grown people, still holding on to childhood anger. When I was 5 years old, you took my doll and snapped her head off,
Right.
So, okay, and that was how many, 60 years ago, and you still, but you have people that don't know how to let the past go, realizing that you are not that same person. You shouldn't be, that you were 40, 50, 60 years ago. You're not that same person. This is not that same reality. This is another time zone. This is another reality. This is a whole nother phase in your life. That you should not still be reliving something, even if it was painful. If you're reliving it, then you recreated it. That other person didn't. You chose to go back there. You chose to relive that anger, that hurt, that pain. Now, if your feeling is, well, they may do something to me again, I can't trust them because they're always saying or doing something hurtful, well, then you can choose to not be around them. If there's somebody who always causes you emotional pain with something they say or do, choose not to be in their presence. And if they got to be at the family gathering, well, I'm sure there's some other people you can talk to.
Right.
If it's like that, but you don't have to keep reliving something hurtful because they can't go back and erase it. They can't make it not have happened.
That's not how it works.
That's not how it works. And you're looking for an apology and they don't want to give it to you. So you're going to be mad because you think that they owe you an apology. Well, maybe they're not sorry. Maybe they are. Maybe an apology still won't take away the memory, but you're the one who has to erase the hurt, not somebody else. Only you're the one that's holding the eraser.
And you gotta live with it.
You got to live with it. So if you want to,
you can choose.
Yeah, you have the power to choose. We say that all the time, and yet we hear people hold on to things that have happened in the past. And they keep thinking that if they replay that same recording, it's going to change. And no, it's the same when you're playing it over and over and over again. You're reliving the pain, reliving the pain. We as a people are doing that. And we're not realizing it is not moving us forward to the kind of life we want to live because we keep going back to these people hurt us, these people did us wrong, these people, okay, that happened. Well, they might do it again or they're still doing it. Okay, then what is your responsibility? Your responsibility is to arrange your life in such a way that people who are unkind to you do not have power over you in any way. That is your responsibility. You're a grown person. You're a human being with the same powers that everyone else has. No one else is more powerful than anybody else on this planet. We're all here as temporary beings, and then we leave. And no one has power over anyone else. If you think that's your own delusion, you have to first overcome that belief that someone else has power over you. No one has power to make you go to jail. No one has power to make you go and kill someone. No one has power. Because as long as you're in your physical body, you have the power to choose it. What was it Harriet Tubman said? I got a right to be free or a right to die.
Right.
I'm choosing to be free.
Thank you.
Once she made that choice, she was never a slave again because she was going to be free. Now you could come after and try to capture her and kill her, but she wasn't going to be captured and she wasn't going to let you capture her. And so she became free. We have to all have that spirit. We're making this choice. So nobody has to go to war. Nobody has to kill anybody. You're choosing to. Why? Out of fear of what? Somebody's going to do what to you? Well, they'll throw me in jail. If you decide to let them. What if you choose not to? Then they have no power over you. So
giving our power away is something we do often.
We do often. Nobody can make you do anything against your will. We have free will here. Even if we live in a government that doesn't agree with our choices, we still have the free will to make that choice. Now they can react in a way that's unpleasant, but we can choose not to fear their reaction. That's how come slavery is over today. That's how come this doesn't exist. Legal slavery in America does not exist in the way it did in the past because we decided not to comply, and we decided we're going to keep fighting until it's over. And then the other side decided, well, it's not worth dying over, so let's just let them go. I mean, that's how it works, pretty much. So you can choose to stop trying to make someone do what you want them to do by force because they make it unpleasant for you to do so. And you will continue to experience the unpleasantness as long as you're choosing to resist, you're trying to force them to comply to something they don't want to comply. That's what war is. When two sides are trying to make one trying to make one side do something, the other side, no, you're not going to do that. And so as long as you can, until people decide, you know what, we can't make someone do something. They're choosing not to agree. So we need to come up with another way because this is very unpleasant. Us dying, that's not pleasant. Us being in pain is not pleasant. So let's choose to not do that. Let's choose to just work out a way that everybody is in agreement, because that's the more pleasant experience rather than being shot, stabbed, blown up, chopped up. That's not fun. I mean, so, until those sides that are having that conflict figure that out, they're going to keep doing that. And that's their choice. That's their free will choice.
That's why I love getting up early in the morning. Things just come to me out of nowhere. It's the ancestors, and I'm listening. That's what it is. And the ancestors just gave me an idea for us, you and I, to do a role play. Dinner, holiday dinner. We're going to sit down to dinner. And we got beef with each other from 40 years ago. You can't, okay, let's make it childhood, because that's where the real trauma comes from, my childhood. So, one of my traumas was the only birthday I ever had as a child. My sister made the Kool-Aid. Oh. And after she made the Kool-Aid, you know, Kool-Aid was the thing back in the day. If you had a party and Kool-Aid, you didn't have no party.
That's right.
She made the Kool-Aid, and then she broke the jar that the Kool-Aid was in. So we had a party with no Kool-Aid. Oh, no Kool-Aid party. That ain't gonna work. So let's come back up to date. So the issue might still be Kool-Aid. So you and I, we're sisters. So we're gonna sit down at the dinner table and have a conversation. So which one do you want to be? You want to be the sister that did the Kool-Aid, work with Kool-Aid? Or
I'll be the one that broke the jar.
Right. Okay. So you the one that broke the jar. So, okay. So we're gonna I'm gonna spin my head around and. All right. Okay, girl, it is good to see you. Where you been? I'm so glad we get a chance to spend the holidays together, because I ain't seen you, what, 20, 30, 40 years? It's been
Oh, you know, I've been with these children, child, you know, trying to get them through school and everything. Well, they finally got out of my house now, so I'm so glad. Yeah, so, you know, we doing all right now, getting ready to go on a vacation, you know, and
yeah, where you going, girl?
Well, you know, I think we've been trying to go to Ghana. So we got our passports and everything, and got our hotel, and I got some friends over there. So we're gonna have us a great time. So we'll be going there in March this year. And
all right, man.
Yeah.
That sounds like fun. I need to be going with you. Oh, Lord, have mercy. Because I know they got good food in Ghana. Good food,
yes, they
good
do.
drink, good everything.
Yes, they do. Good drinks. Yes. So,
you know, I am so glad that we are grown adults now, and, you know, things that happened to us in the past that we have resolved. But, you know, there's just one thing that just keeps coming in my mind, you know, and I can't get it out of my head. I don't know what I need to do. But, you know, I think I still got a little grudge against you for the only birthday party I ever had, and you spilled the Kool-Aid, girl. And you know, my party wasn't a party because I didn't have no Kool-Aid. And you did that to me. And you, my sister, you supposed to be the one to guard, to watch over me. And you spilled my Kool-Aid and you didn't even apologize. What's up with that?
Well, you know, the jar slipped out of my hand and broke. And I didn't intentionally destroy your Kool-Aid, but you know, at the time, I kind of felt like you were getting all the attention because it was your birthday. And so when it slipped and fell, I didn't really feel bad because, you know.
I knew it. I knew you did it on purpose.
Well, I didn't really sort of do it on purpose. It was kind of sort of an accident, but not really.
Mm-hmm.
And I probably shouldn't have been that petty at the time, but you know, it just seemed like everybody was paying attention to you and not to me.
But you're my big sister.
Yeah,
sister.
Yeah, so, but you always get all the attention, and everybody thought you was cuter than me, and you know, I just kind of felt like she don't need no Kool-Aid now. And I was kind of mean spirited back then. I really should apologize. Because I was a little bit jealous.
Yeah, you should apologize. I'm waiting. I've been waiting for 50 years. So yeah, I'm waiting. Mm-hmm. I'm listening. Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, now that I think about it, I mean, what about that time when you took my doll that I had, and you drew magic mark all over her face? I didn't like that.
That was lipstick, girl. I don't draw no magic mark over her face.
It didn't come off. It was magic marker, and your dumb self sat there and messed up my doll's pretty face And I didn't appreciate that. So where's my apology?
I think I need to breathe. I think that's what I need to do.
And you need no Kool-Aid anyway. Yeah, drink some water.
I'm gonna inhale and I'm gonna exhale. And did I brush my teeth? No, I didn't brush my teeth this morning, so I'm gonna blow this in your face. No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna keep them thoughts to myself, and I'm just gonna sit here and breathe by myself. Inhale. I'm talking to myself because ain't nobody else got to be with me on this. This is to calm me down.
I apologize. I shouldn't have.
What you said?
I apologize.
Say that again.
I apologize. I should not have broken the Kool-Aid jar. I apologize. That was me.
Wow.
I apologize.
Wow, you said that now, 50 years later, when you should have said it. But I digress. I'm sorry. But you know what, sis? I did take that magic marker. I said it was lipstick, but I really did toe up her face because I was mad at you. But you are my sister, and I do love you. Even though you get on my nerves sometimes, but we still friends. So I apologize for marking up your doll face with the black magic marker. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be sarcastic. Let me breathe on that some more. Let me open up my heart chakras and be grateful I have a heart and be grateful I have a sister. I'm just thinking out loud. Pay me no mind.
Yeah.
Just let me breathe. Just let me breathe on it until I calm down because right now I'm all up in my feelings. I'm a little emotional. So I'm just going to breathe. As a matter of fact, I just might get up and go to the bathroom and just sit on the toilet for a few minutes just so I can breathe and be myself. Because I know mom, dad, sister, brother, because I know y'all all look at me like I'm crazy because I'm sitting up here breathing. But that's okay. This is what I got to do to calm me down. And if my breathing interrupts anybody, just let me go in the kitchen or the bathroom and just chill for a few minutes. And I'm going to breathe my way through this because we came here this holiday to love each other, to experience each other, because so many people don't have family, and we got family. There's a lot of us, and we need to get along. So I'm just going to breathe. And while I'm breathing, I'm going to dig into this dressing and this sweet potato salad and this cranberry sauce and the rest of the stuff, and I'm going to be all right. But sis, I want you to know I did mess up your doll. I apologize. I ain't sorry because I'm not a sorry person, but I do apologize, and I hope that you'll forgive me. And can we breathe together? Can we do that?
Well, how about this? I'll make you some more Kool-Aid tonight.
Now we talk. I can do that. Hallelujah. See? All you have to do is give me some Kool-Aid. I'm a Kool-Aid girl. I just needed some Kool-Aid. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. And that, or as they say in acting, scene. Now that was our reenactment on how to handle the holiday blues. People just tuned in and said, "Are they arguing? Do they have an attitude? What's wrong with them? What's going on?" That was our little reenactment of how to handle.
Yeah, I love improv. Yeah.
Yeah.
But those things are going to come to the surface during your holiday gatherings, and they might be just that petty, just that long term, way back, just that much anger you're still holding, but you gotta let it go, because you know what happens if you don't let it go. And we're in the season of funerals. As we age, you end up going to more funerals than weddings. As people transition out of here, you don't want to still be holding those old time grudges because you grieve more because you didn't get a chance to make it right.
Right.
So take this opportunity to make it right during this holiday season.
And that's all you have to do. You have a chance. You made it to today. So let's take care of that with the breath. A couple of comments. It was 8 o'clock. We got to take our commercial break because it's time for Khalid to come on. Grand Rising sisters. Glad you're enjoying the cold and hot where you are. Keep smiling.
Yeah, it's cold here in Chicago. It's hot there in Jamaica. So.
Is it? And what's the weather?
Kool-Aid. She's gonna talk about us with Kool-Aid. Yes.
Kool-Aid. Yes,
Kool-Aid. Yes.
Yes, we said Kool-Aid. She said, how long ago was that Kool-Aid spill? About 50 years ago. About 50 years ago. Yeah, I'm still carrying that garbage around. But that's what we do as a family, as a unit. We hold on to stuff.
Yes.
Stuff that we need to be letting go. So we gonna let that go, and we gonna let all the other mess go as Naima goes to our commercial break. And I am going to share with you something a little later. But Naima, you take it away. Take us to commercial break because it's time to bring on veteran mental health clinician, the real doctor, who will give us some psychological tricks of the trade to help us get through the holiday blues. Because not everybody's happy because we still holding grudges from 1955. It's almost 2025. Okay. Take it away.
Do you want to live in a world without war? Join our global peace movement. Heavenly Culture World Peace Restoration of Light transcends culture, religion, ideology, and other boundaries to achieve peaceful harmony in the global society. HWPL is committed to bringing world peace and cessation of war through peaceful dialogue between religious groups. I am Director Shin-Suk Kim of the HWPL Chicago branch of North America. Join us for our next gathering. Call 773-580-1501 and be a part of the movement for world peace. Email us at chicagohwpl@gmail.com. I'm Beata, your holistic life coach. These days, it's more important than ever to work on your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual health. Are you consciously breathing deeply in stressful moments? Do you have a plan or daily routine to maintain balance in your awesome body? Are you struggling to be disciplined in your eating habits? When you partner with I'll help you develop a personalized health plan that works for your particular lifestyle. You can find out more about me at yourholisticlifecoach.com, where you can also review my 3-step protocol to guide you to abundant health. Yourholisticlifecoach.com, and I'm Beata. We have an opportunity to transform the whole global society in the next 50 years. 50 years from now, the earth will be populated by a new generation of adults, many of whom are yet unborn. Our mission is to nurture them in childhood with love, guidance, and protection, and to raise them in healthy, happy families. If we impart values of compassion, generosity, and respect for fellow human beings in the next generation of children, they will create a world where people can live together in peace. This is our goal. Be a part of the transformation. Get your copy of the book, The Female Solution. Go to www.naimalatif.com. That's www.naimalatif.com. Do you or your organization need space for an event? Call the Corey Event Center at 2423 East 75th Street in Chicago for your parties, banquets, award ceremonies, repasses, concerts, and business seminars. Available 7 days a week. Now under new management. Call us at the Corey at 773-663-2557. That's 773-663-2557.
And rising. And thank you for joining us back here on Monday Morning Mindfulness. Welcome to the Female Solution and the Higher Learning Network TV show. We are discussing today something that affects every family on planet Earth and any other places. I don't know about other places, but I know about planet Earth because I live here. But I want to welcome our veteran mental health clinician who graces us with his presence, his knowledge, his expertise every quarter on the Female Solution. And that is none other than our very own mental health clinician, Khalid Scott. Thank you so much, Khalid, for joining us this morning while we're broadcasting live from Montego Bay, Jamaica, man.
Y'all got me up and at 'em this morning on a Monday morning, but I'm glad to be here.
Amen. Because somebody didn't wake up this morning and look at us all woke and moving and thinking and having our being. All right now.
That's the truth. That's the truth.
I don't know. Did you get a chance to see our little reenactment?
No, I didn't.
Okay, well, we'll let you go back and see it later, but we're going to tell you about it right now. We thought, because, sometimes we talk a lot, and sometimes people need to see a demonstration. So Naima and I just did a demonstration of we were two sisters, something that happened to us 50 years ago. She dropped the Kool-Aid and broke the jar, and it ruined my party. And then I took her doll and used a magic mark and messed up the face. So we just we just wanted to show folks a little something until you come in and give us the tricks of the trade for the holiday blues, because somebody somewhere got them. It's not us, but we want to help those who have the holiday blues. So how do we start that process of finding joy in the midst of all this chaos and confusion?
Absolutely. Great question. And again, ladies, thank you for having me as always. Pleasure to be here with you and to share with the family. And you two are looking beautiful this holiday season.
Thank you, my brother. You're always looking scrumptious. Ooh, is that
thank you.
Looking good. I'm sorry.
Right.
I'm sorry. It's early in the morning. What can I say?
Right. I'll send you your payment for that compliment. Absolutely. No, but as a clinician, when September, October gets here, I start preparing for the holiday blues. Really, truly, because anybody who's in my industry of social services knows that when the fall season comes, we start dealing with clients who have the SAD disorder, and that's seasonal affective disorder. And what that basically is that when the season is changing, right, leaving summer, going into fall, and then going into winter, you start seeing people change, mentally, right, and emotionally, right? And they start, because it's dark, it's gloomy. The sun and that blue sky does something for your spirit, right?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
When the skies are gray, you know what I'm saying? When there's snow and rain, you get kind of somber, right? And that truly affects people physically, right? And mentally. And then you get the holidays coming. And then the holidays are supposed to evoke thoughts of joy and happiness and splendor, but not for a lot of people. Because think about it. Think about if this was the year your parent died earlier in the year, or a child, or a best friend, or you got a divorce this year or something. This is going to be the first holiday season without them around, right? And so that's no joy. You have to learn how to navigate your world now without the people who you love, right? And you were just with a year ago, right? And then, the pressure we put on ourselves, because Christmas is not just about celebrating the birth of Jesus Christ. It's about getting out to Target and Amazon and buying gifts and, and putting pressure on yourself, right? And like you, I'm seeing a whole lot of people do this. You know what? Let me get out of town. Let me go and gift myself a trip. Because I can only imagine when you landed in the Caribbean and you saw that sky, it was like, ooh,
hallelujah. That's all I can say.
But now you're going to have to get back on that plane in the next few days and come back to dark and gloomy Chicago.
Yeah. And cold. Did I say cold?
Right. And you're going to be like, So
why didn't I stay in Jamaica?
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. But the thing is, it's a mindset, and you have to change your mindset. You have to make your joy happen. Right. So for me, I'm an empty nester and I'm divorced. Right. And so the thing is, and plus I've lost a whole lot of people. I've lost 7 people this year, right? Wow. From everything from physical sicknesses to suicide.
Wow.
Right? 2 men I know committed suicide this year. So as I go into the holiday season, I'm going in with gratitude. One, that I'm here to celebrate another holiday season. 2, I'm going to value and appreciate the people who are still here. Right. And that I'm going to make sure, I hear my friends, because I'm in my 50s. I hear so many people like, I'm not even putting up Christmas decorations. I'm like, why not? Why not? The day before Thanksgiving, me and my 21-year-old daughter decorated our house. Just like when she was 1 year old. I don't ever want to not celebrate.
I commend you. I hate to interrupt you. I'm sorry, but I just got to say this. I commend you because you're the daddy I never had. Hallelujah. Keep doing what
Thank you, beloved. Thank you, beloved. But what it is it just, and then I see when people come over to my house and visit, and you're more than welcome to come and see me, ladies. When they walk into my family room, which is typically where I entertain at, and they see my 7-foot Christmas tree and all the decorations, people are like, they're staring at the tree. And I'm like, what are you looking at? They was like, it just looks good to see that. Right? Because it takes us back to nostalgic place of being a kid and seeing the presents under the tree. So
feeling good.
Right. So decorate. Get creative with your decoration. I had a friend who decorated in African garb. And I mean, it looks spectacular how they decorated the tree with a little Kwanzaa, included.
Yeah.
Just make your joy. Make your joy.
Don't wait for it to come to you.
Make your joy. And so now let's go back a little bit. So there are approximately 97 holidays between September and March.
Did you say 97?
97 holidays, right?
97.
97. Absolutely.
Wow.
Right, between September and March, right? So during that fall, winter season, there are a lot of holiday celebrations. You got days like Pulaski Day. And the things you don't think about. They even consider Black Friday and Cyber Monday to be holidays, right? You gonna spend some money, right?
Okay.
Right? Getting ready for the holidays, right?
Even days of Kwanzaa.
Absolutely. Okay. So it's those little holidays you don't even think about. But the intent of a holiday is to take time to celebrate something. That's the premise of a holiday. But we've distorted it. You know what I'm saying? And we made it what is not supposed to be. Like I hear the argument, Jesus wasn't even born on December 25th. You know what? I understand that. But think about, don't take a kid's joy and tell them that there's no Santa Claus. Let a kid be innocent and think about it. And then when they turn about 6 years old, then you can say, no, mommy and daddy are the one up at Walmart buying your toys. But you know what? Let our children have innocence. Think about when we were kids.
Yeah.
We enjoy looking at Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and Frosty the Snowman and Charlie Brown Christmas. Our kids aren't innocent no more. They don't have innocent childhoods. So we rob them of that in this early age, and then we wonder why they're so cynical as a teenager.
Please.
So we got to start changing behaviors.
And
then we go into this because, I do a lot of chats and talks about relationships. So then people start talking about, well, I'm single on the holidays, and that brings on despair. You know what? I tell all of my clients in my private practice and at the VA hospital, I want you to do this for Christmas. Go and buy you a gift and wrap it up and put it under the tree. So on Christmas morning, Go downstairs or wherever and open up your present that you bought you. One of my clients was like, I never thought to do that. And it was like, that was the best, the prescription you gave me. Buy myself a gift. I know people on their birthday who still go to work on their birthday. Every year since the last 20 years, I've always taken my birthday week off because I celebrate everybody else.
Right.
Why wouldn't I celebrate me on my birthday?
Right.
I'm not going to go to work. They'll get me on another day.
Thank
but
you.
On this, I'm going to celebrate me. And then my birthday is in the middle of July, July 16th. So that just gives me another excuse to go and travel and celebrate.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to get the message today. When you think about holidays, think about the celebration of it, not what all the extra stuff is. Just be in the moment. You know, we talk about mindfulness training, right? And do you all know what mindfulness is?
I teach it.
Right. So mindfulness is the easiest thing to remember. The past is history. The future is a mystery.
All right now.
Stay focused in on today, which is the present, which is the gift in itself.
Yeah. Right here.
Don't worry about what's going to happen tomorrow because it ain't here yet. And what happened 5 minutes ago happened 5 minutes ago. Can't erase it. It's there. It's on the books. But what I do have power over is the right here and right now. And that's what we need to refocus in on. The power we have now. I wish I can bring my buddy who committed suicide a couple of months ago back. I wish my friends who died over the summer of MS and kidney failure, I wish I can bring them back, but I can't. So you know what? This holiday season, I'm going to have their pictures and I'm going to wake up saying, Merry Christmas, Deborah. Merry Christmas, V. Merry Christmas, Quan. Merry Christmas, Desmond. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to celebrate them like they were still here. Amen. But that's how I'm going to make myself have joy.
Right.
Right? I did something on Black Friday. I never go shopping on Black Friday. But let me tell you something. I did a difference. A few days before Thanksgiving, I went to go and visit a family friend. And they just moved into a new home, and the home looks beautiful. And, you know, they put a lot of work into the decorating of their home. Well, looking at that home reinvigorated me to say, Khalid, redecorate a room in your house. So on Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving, I got up and went to the room place and spent about $5,000 on a new living room set, on a family room set. They delivered it the next week, and I'm like, what a difference. I have black leather furniture, right, in my family room, right? But I've had that furniture since I was a bachelor 30 years ago in 1994. But I keep stuff nice, right? Okay. But when that new black couch and love seat came in, I sat on it with the reclining seat, and I smelled that new leather. And the firmness of the seat, I was like, oh, wow. Yeah. Why did I do this sooner? Right?
Oh.
It's okay to let the old go.
Old go.
And every day I go in and sit on my new couches for an hour to enjoy what I worked hard for.
Yeah, sit there and absorb it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You make your own joy.
Yeah.
Now, I could have kept the same couches. They were okay. But I just put them in my basement, and I'm enjoying the new. So that's what I'm saying. Start today. Today, audience members, start making your joy. When I jump in the car, I play this song called The Lord Is Real by Blackstreet. I've been playing it since 1997 because when I start my day off, I want something that says, God got me. He has me. He has me. And even if I'm driving in snow and rain, I look up at the sky and I say, I can see some blue. That blue represents being optimistic. Because even though there's a storm going right now, I can still see traces of a blue sky, meaning that it's not going to rain every day. It's not going to snow every day. It's going to be blue sky days. That's what I mean with shifting your mindset. That's all I mean. Shift your mindset. Start seeing things more optimistically. That's what we've lost. Naima and Miss Zelda, we've lost our power of being optimistic because we're so pessimistic. We're so pessimistic.
In a low energy environment. That's why.
Yes.
And so the vibrations are low, the consciousness is low, and we do everything that everybody else does. And it doesn't allow us to feel the joy that we want to feel, that you're talking about being in this moment right here, right now.
Absolutely. And let me make it real clear. I'm not telling none of us not to be realistic. We can be realistic, but still, even with that, have a foundation of optimism, because optimism says there's a better day coming. There's a better day coming.
I have a question. I have a question, especially when you mention sad.
Right.
You know, and people having this depression seasonally. I think about a lot of people whose childhood may have been sad, depressed, disappointing, where maybe they had the anxiety of their family being under financial distress during the holiday seasons, and they remember not having enough food or being outdoors. Maybe they went through some kind of family trauma, you know, being kicked out of the house, being homeless, or parents divorcing or whatever. So this season does not bring joy to them. Or even in September, usually that's school time. Well, if they had a negative school experience, so for September for them, you know, recalls memories of being bullied or not having a warm coat as the seasons change. So if your foundation was sad, if your foundation was hurt, disappointment, anxiety, if that was your childhood foundation, how do you create a positive memory because you don't have something to recall to bring you joy? How do you create joy from what you don't have an experience to remember?
You know what, Queen Naima, that is a wonderful question to ask, and it's the easiest question to answer. Every day you wake up, okay, look at your life as a movie, but it's an old movie playing, right? Every day when you wake up, you get to rewrite your screenplay. Remember, you have to have a screenplay in order for to make a movie. You got to have the story, right? And you write the story, and then the actors and the crew, they play out the story you create, correct? Who says that your life has to have a continuous horror story?
Okay.
Who said that? Tell me where that was etched in stone, that your movie has to be a living nightmare on Elm Street. Right? Or a living Friday the 13th.
Right.
How about let's recreate? I never had a dad in my entire life. Never had a daddy. Never had, not one day I had a dad.
Look at the daddy you are today.
Wow.
Look at the daddy you are today.
Wow.
I won Father of the Year from 5 different organizations. Why? Because I rewrote my story.
The story. Wow.
Because I had the power to do it. I could have had a Naya and been a deadbeat dad. But because I know the pain and hurt I went through as a kid rejected, why would I have brought this beautiful human being on earth to give her that same scenario? Change it. If you don't like your life situation, change it.
Say that.
Yes.
You have that power. Use it. Stop giving it away.
Right.
Absolutely.
And stop giving our children power away. When you talked about childhood, I saw something that was so disturbing, and I know I'm gonna get some complaints about them, but I am not gonna even recognize it. I'm gonna say that's your opinion. You keep your opinion to yourself, because I'm gonna voice my opinion. I saw on YouTube or TikTok, I don't know where it was, where she wasn't even a year old. They put a front lace wig on the child. Can you believe that?
Yes.
You are taking that child's natural hair and about to stunt its growth for the rest of its life. So what you're doing is you're creating a story in that child's mind that my hair is not good enough. How do I know? Because I had that issue all my life about my hair. And I see that in that child.
Yes.
You are taking from her what God gave her, these antennas that keep you attuned to what the Creator has for you in store. And you putting a front slate, you putting something fake on the child's head. Right. Don't you know? You don't know what you're doing. So let me calm down and tell you.
Well, let me address that.
Please do.
So this is why I tell people, sometimes you have to put your clinical hat on, right?
Okay.
Even if you didn't go to school, and even though you don't have to, use this book daily, like I have to do, the DSM-5 clinical book, right?
Oh, okay.
This is the book that we diagnose you, right? Right. This is the clinician's Bible.
Okay.
DSM-5, right? So what happens is when you look at that child, you just turn around and look at the parent who did it. The world has taught her that beauty comes with that hairstyle. And because I love my kid, and I'm their first role model, and maybe I was teased as a little girl about my hair, but I don't want my baby to be teased.
Okay.
So, oh my goodness, let me put a weave on my baby's hair.
Yeah.
See, I want to believe that people still have good intentions. It's just how we carry those intentions out.
Thank you for that, Khalid.
Right. And so today I have a debate going on Facebook right now, right? LeBron James' son, who had a heart attack on a basketball court back in July, fell out on the basketball court. Well, the cardiologist said that he can go back playing, and he played his first game yesterday. So I put a post up like, not my kid. There's no way I'm a billionaire, and my son, who could have died on the basketball court, he's going to have my blessings to play again. Not when I can afford him the absolute best life. My thing is, son, I'm going to pay for you to go to Harvard. Go and become an attorney. Go and get an MBA and run my corporation. Run my corporation. But I do not want me and your mom to have to relive when we saw you, our firstborn child, fall out on a basketball court.
Well, Dr. Khalid, I know we got to go take a commercial break, but a thought could be that the son desired to go back because he felt like his worth was as a basketball player, and that's what his heart wanted to do, even though it would hurt his parents if he had another heart attack.
Absolutely.
So he made that choice.
Absolutely. And my audience is saying the same thing you said. The only difference I'm saying is, as a parent, you're going to understand that I'm not co-signing this behavior.
Right.
Because if something happens to you, I got to stand over a grave site.
Right.
I got to stand over the crowd. And the crowd, you all who are like, yeah, you all will be the first one if that baby dies on the court tomorrow. You are billionaire. You should have kept him off the court. What kind of dad and mom are you?
Thank you.
And that's what happens when parents see their children making choices that they know are risky, but the children are grown and they have the power to choose, and we can't stop them. It's painful to watch.
Absolutely.
That's all we can do, because they're going to make those choices.
Right. If Anaya said, Daddy, I want to date the local drug dealer, I'm never going to co-sign it, even though she's 18 and can date him. She won't get me to co-sign that behavior. Yeah. That's all I'm saying. I'm not co-signing it.
That's the pain of parenting.
That's true. You are absolutely right. You are absolutely right.
We got to take a quick break, but we'll be right. We got about we got 3 callers on the line that want to speak. If you want to take those calls after the break, or
Sure.
Dr. Khalid Scott. Okay.
We can do that, and we will be right back. So stay close for Holiday Blues: How to Handle It. Mental health professional, clinician.
Montego, and you're watching CTV on the Higher Learning Network.
I'm sorry, my mic was muted. I don't know how that happened, but Okay, let me try that again.
Yes.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Mic is muted.
No, we hear you.
You can hear it, but you can't see it.
Oh, we just saw the commercial. You gonna play it again?
The internet is not as good here.
Montego, and you're watching CTV on the Higher Learning Network.
Hi, I'm Brandon. Hi, I'm Akil. And you're watching the Betty Shabazz podcast training on the Higher Learning Network. Yeah.
That's great.
Take it away, Naima.
All right. Want me to take the calls now?
Sure. Yeah, let's take some calls.
All right. Area code 773-236. Your mic is open. You are live on Monday Morning Mindfulness with yes. 773-236. Your mic is open. Are you ready to speak?
What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yes. Give us your name and where you're calling from. You're live on the air.
Okay, my name is Rashida Ali. I'm calling from Chicago, Illinois.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello?
Rashida Ali. Yes. Your question for Dr. Khalid Scott.
What are you saying?
Yeah, do you have a question or comment for Dr. Khalid Scott, our guest today, the mental health clinician?
Yes, I have a question first of all. I'm wondering if any of you all going to be at the hearing for what's his name, Ed Burke.
The hearing, I do not plan to be there. I probably will have a news crew there, but as we said earlier, you can choose where you're going to put your attention, and I'm personally not choosing to put my attention on his case.
Well, I just want to say this, that he contributed to my accountability because I'm going to be there if God bless me, because they killed my fiance and took all my blueprints. I wondered, how did he get my blueprints to the post office? I was the only plan holder in this whole region side. That includes Michigan, Iowa, and Illinois, Indiana. So I negotiated $10 billion worth of contract, and they killed him. And my fiance took all my blueprints, specification, modifications, and amendment.
So Rashida, let me ask you this question. Rashida. Okay, so Rashida, hold just 1 second. Don't just a second, because I need to ask you this question. This is something that happened and you are very angry, which we talked about that when something happens and it's affecting you and it's still affecting your life. And this man who former alderman, you are feeling that he's responsible for the pain that you experienced with a business plan that you had. And now he's about to go on trial. So are you saying that your attending is going to help you mentally and emotionally? And how will you cope with it if his trial doesn't turn out in some kind of punitive way? And are you wanting to ask Dr. Khalid Scott, how do you handle the emotions that you have surrounding this situation? Because it's causing you distress. And that's what you got to deal with, is your distress. So How would you formulate a question on that to Dr. Khalid Scott?
No, I didn't have a question. I had a statement. Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you. I hear you.
I didn't know. That was a contributor to my traumaphobic brain injury. That's what traumaphobic means.
Yeah. You had a thing happen that is still creating trauma in you, but whatever happens, you still are going to have to deal with your emotions about that are affecting you. So before we take the next caller, Dr. Scott, a lot of people have, and we talked about this earlier, a lot of people have anger of things that happen, injustices that have happened, and it's very easy to get stuck in that trauma. How do you deal with something if you feel like the situation is out of your power to control?
Right. One of the things we do as clinicians, and even when we're being tested to get all our licenses and certifications, they ask questions. If a client is going through something, what is the first thing you need to do? And the first thing we do is we validate. Mm-hmm. And that's what you did just now. You validated her feeling. And what validation does is let the person know, even if you don't agree with me, you heard me, right? And so I tell people, validate your feelings. What you feel is valid. What you feel is important. And it doesn't have to matter to nobody but you. But also then I tell people, think about your power. Do you have the power to change that situation? If you do, go for it. If you're limited power, do what you can do and move on. And then that's it. Again, go back to mindfulness training. I cannot help what happened in the past. I wish I could, but I can't. The future, I might have a little bit control of, but even that, God can make me sick in 2 more minutes. And I have to say, oh, guys, I got to go right quick, right? The only thing I have control of is right here and right now. I'm about making my power and keeping my power, not giving it to other people. That's why we have to be cognitive and master our feelings. And with that, let me go ahead and bring this up because I'm preaching this a whole lot now. We got to have emotional intelligence. Mm-hmm. Now, do you know what emotional intelligence is? Well, let me explain what it is. Emotional intelligence is being 50% intelligent and rational and logical, but 50% emotional. And you marry the two. You marry the two. So in instances when your logic kicks in, it needs to kick in. When it's appropriate for your emotions to kick in, they kick in. But at the end of the day, you have a balance of both. Because we typically don't have a balance of both. We're either really emotional or really logic. And two extremes on either end are not good. It's always when you walk the middle with anything. And as a clinician, this is what I'm telling people to learn to practice more, having better emotional intelligence. It gets us less trouble. That's why men and women fight. Women tend to be emotional. Men tend to be logical. And we do this, trying to fight our points. Don't fight. Men understand why she's feeling this way. Ladies, understand that he doesn't want you to feel sad. He's trying to bring you out of with logical thinking. But let's meet each other in the middle. And that's just an example, right? So again, whatever you have the power in your control to do, run with it. But if your power is limited, man, join another cause. That's something that you can create some change with.
Join another cause.
Because the thing is, we don't have time. The pandemic should have taught us you can be here today and tonight be gone.
Yeah. I got a quick question. I got a quick question before we take the next caller, because there are a lot of people that get wrapped up in situations, trials of public figures that they may feel, have hurt people, even hurt them. personally, and then maybe the child doesn't go the way they thought, or the person doesn't get punished the way they thought, and so they're got more bottled up anger. How do they let that go? How do they not have that be a source of emotional trauma where they're angry and feeling helpless and injustice and all that? How do they deal with those feelings so that they're not living that every day?
Okay.
Yes, excellent
Go ahead
question.
and see a therapist. See a therapist. Go to www.psychology today, because typically when something bothers you that bad, it's more to it. It's more beneath the surface. It has triggered you. It has triggered something deep within you, right? And you got to go and know what that is. You know what I'm saying? Someone shared with me that they got into a fight not too long ago, and they almost beat the person to a pulp.
Wow.
And I asked them, my first question is, where did that rage come from?
Yeah.
This person sad swiped me. I'm going to ask it again, but I want you to think this time. Where did all that rage come from? Where you bloodied their face?
Oh, that's horrible.
The sad swipe is, give me your insurance card. Let me take down your license number, and we're going to call the police, and the insurance going to do this. But when I sit up here and almost beat you to death, that came from a deeper, dark place.
Yeah.
And the person was like, Khalid, everything been going wrong in my life. I call it the Chris Rock slap. That slap was not meant for Chris Rock.
Right.
That slap was for Daddy, who used to beat my mom, and I was powerless.
You better say that.
Yes.
You better say that. And I couldn't protect my mama. So yeah, we get that. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's it.
Absolutely.
That was a moment that needs to be recaptured. Not the slap, but what you just said, Dr. Scott. You need to reiterate that just one more time, because somebody else needs to hear that. Can you please say that again?
Yeah, I call it the Chris Rock syndrome. That's where that you take the straw that breaks the camel back, gets the full effect of what should have been taken care of a long time ago.
You aimed at someone else. Yeah.
Absolutely.
That slap that
I think a lot of people understood that.
Absolutely. 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 Just like, no more will another man take advantage of a woman I love.
Yeah.
I'll do it on the biggest stage ever to make sure it will never do it. He got on stage last night and got a standing ovation. Hip Hop Awards, Will Smith.
He did.
Right?
So people are understanding. I mean, we've had a chance to hash this whole thing out and really realize the pain in his childhood. And so many people can identify with that, because I believe Tyler Perry got the same story, father beating up the mother. And, so you carry the pain of that. And at some point it explodes.
Absolutely. And that's why we have to be careful. When somebody, passes me up on the expressway, I don't go and chase after them and want to get into it. Something is making them act that way, but you're not going to ruin my day. I got to get home so my daughter can see me.
Amen.
I want to be able to talk to my mom later that night.
Amen.
It ain't worth it.
Yeah.
It ain't worth it.
It's not worth it.
It's a lot of road rage going on, and we have a choice to participate or not participate. And a lot of times we have to get beyond ego, because ego's I'm right, I should be first because I'm driving. Why you all up in my space? No. Right. You need to take a deep breath and let that fool pass and do what it do, so that you can get to wherever you're going safely.
Yes.
Absolutely. And see, Queen Zelda, that's all it is. That's that emotional intelligence kicking in. Now, don't let my emotions take over my intellect.
Okay.
When my intellect says, you don't even know who that is, they gone.
Right.
Let them drive.
Thank you. Don't even know you exist. They don't even know who you are and don't care. They trying to get from point A to point B too.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you go.
Now, have we all been upset? Like, I remember somebody did that to me, and I'm like, how dare he? And I got ready, and my daughter was like, Daddy. And I said, okay.
Oh, let me calm down. That's right.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
I had her in the car because me and him was about to do speed racing on the damn line.
Yeah, to remind you of your emotional intelligence, right?
Right.
We got a couple more callers. If I can open the mic for area code 706-202. Introduce yourself to our listening and viewing audience and our guest, Dr. Khalid Scott.
Assalamu alaikum, Sister Naima. Greetings, Sister Zelda, and greetings to Khalid. Excellent advice as for our MI, not missing in action, mental illness.
Mental illness.
Who is this?
Sounds like Baba Kwame.
Is that Baba Kwame?
She all the way in Jamaica, so she can't hear that good. You know, you got to speak up.
Yaman. Yaman. I hear you, man. Everything's Irie, man.
I sit here in the stolen lands of the Muskogee Creek. I just left Chicago. My homegoing was Wednesday.
Oh, was it?
Was there when we, took her off the respirator, and the family was there. It was almost the grandchildren, my brothers and sisters, my great-grand cousins, all of the children. It was about 30, almost 40 of us in the room.
Wow.
It was when she was taken off the respirator, and I turned her onto her back and supported her back and held her head and took her hearing aid out and spoke into her left ear, and told her, her right ear, and spoke into her ear and says, Mama, you're free. You can go, Mama, because I talked, and you asked 3 questions. Have you done everything, Mama, that you came on the planet to do? And all of us was here, and we validate that for generations. Then the second thing, have you forgiven yourself, and have you forgiven everybody that has done something to harm you? And she validated that. And then the last one is, are you ready to return to the spirit, be with my brother, my grandmother, grandfather, all of the relatives, your sisters that's already there on the other side? Are you ready to go? And she validated that. And she was able to take that last deep breath, and 2 things happened that a sound that I'll never forget is when my mom had a catheter, and when she released her fluids and the surge of fluids that came out of her body, and that last inhale and that last breath that came out of her mouth. Those 2 sounds I'll never forget. Those 2 sounds told me that she's free. You're not pronounced dead. You're free, Mom. Because as a spirit abolitionist, I, my mother, free, and said that she was free from this body because she exhaled. She's out of this hell for forever now. We were born, we inhale. We're inhale. We go through 24/7, inhaling and exhaling. That last breath, that means you exhale, you exit the hell that may have been part of the time that you had to do in your purpose. But we have to begin to have a different language, because she will never be, as it says, to be deaf is to be able not to hear. No, we won't hear that voice. We won't see that body. But we have that spirit that is free. Once you free the spirit is eternal. And so this is what I live. I can sit here in the stolen land looking in nature and the forest, because yes, my mother is gone, but my mother nature is always going to be here, because as long as I'm on earth, I'm on my mother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And Dr. Scott, a lot of people, like you said earlier, this becomes a season where you remember your loved one transition.
That's right.
And of course, Baba Kwame has a very emotionally healthy way of understanding about life and transitions from life. How do you help somebody who, because this is when their loved one transition, they're going through that depression. This is what it means, and they're still thinking, "Oh, I lost my father, I lost my mother, I lost my child." How do you help them change that thinking so that they're not sad during this holiday season?
Right. Well, we can't dismiss the sadness, right? You know, Zelda, you remember when I gave you that spreadsheet about the grief cycle? That's all. We go over the grief cycle. And on the grief cycle, it says when something happens to you, when you experience a loss, there's 5 levels of process you have to go through. You have to go through the shock and denial. You have to go through the anger and aggression. You have to go through the sadness and the depression. You have to go through the bargaining, which is starting to talk out the pain. And then finally you get to the acceptance, right? And at any time, right? Anytime you can go right back to number 1, the denial, right? But as long as you understand that you're going through a cycle of grief, right? And to own whatever stage you're at in that cycle, right? If you're angry, be angry. Deal with it. Go with the feelings, because eventually you'll go to the next level and go to the next level. And then again, like I said earlier, when the holiday comes, sit back and say, man, I remember, man, mama's sweet potato pies. I'm going to go in the kitchen and take her recipe, and I'm going to try to recreate my mama's Mama, I'm here. Put on her, if her favorite song was This Christmas by Donny Hathaway, play it all day.
All day.
There and cry. Cry all day if you have to.
It'll change the energy. Yes.
Get it out. And then and have a big picture of her in the kitchen. Like, Mom, I celebrate you today. See, again, it's about the power of your thinking, the power of your mind. If you want to be sad and depressed, you'll be it all day.
Yep. All day, all night.
Right. But if you want to say, no, I'm not going to let this take over. I'm going to celebrate my mom today. Even if you got to go to the cemetery and take some flowers, or you go to her favorite restaurant. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you have to do, just try to bring some joy to it.
Yeah.
And surround yourself. Don't isolate yourself. A lot of us isolate ourselves when we're going through things, right? Even if you don't have nobody to hang out with, maybe go to Target and do some retail therapy, right? Or go to the grocery store and or go to the gym, right?
Let's get some of that energy out of you.
Get that out
go
of you.
Go sit in nature. Go hug a tree. Go sit in the park. Go put your feet in some water.
Absolutely.
Go sit in the grass. Go get out in nature. That has been my savior.
Right.
Being in nature.
Right.
I'm just loving this here in Montego Bay, because in Chicago, and I'm cold. I'm loving this. We got a couple of comments here. I want to see. Viata, excuse me, Viata Robinson, my sister from another mister, says, my former daughter-in-law had that rage against another driver, and I realize how she feels disrespected. It comes from an alcoholic father who physically abused her sibling and her mother. You are right on target.
Yeah. A lot of times when people go off on you, it's that feeling of disrespect. The Chris Rock slap syndrome. Someone disrespected you somewhere in your life, and someone triggers that memory of that feeling of disrespect. And so that's why you overreact to some little thing. I've seen that a lot. We got one last caller. We can squeeze in. You got another comment there?
Nice to see Dr. Khalid's handsome face.
Please. More compliments on a Monday morning. I love it. Thank you so much.
Well, we are women of a certain ambiance. We don't say it if we don't see it.
Oh, we got another caller, Admiral Nelson Bay. Go right ahead. Quick call for Dr. Scott.
Your mother in the kitchen. Well, I had a picture of my mother, my brother, and myself in the dining room, which my brother John D. Nelson purloined from the house stealthily. He had it in a plastic bag. And that, to me, represents some kind of pathology, because my brother John D. Nelson is a compulsive hoarder. I too am a compulsive hoarder, but I'm very neat about my compulsive hoarding. Self-supporting in and of itself is not necessarily a pejorative. It's one's rationale for why one hoards, what one hoards, and the manner in which one hoards.
Okay. Hold that thought, Admiral Nelson Bay. Hold that thought, because we're about to go, but I want to let Dr. Khalid Scott address that. Hoarding. What is that? What is that a symptom of? Because we got that in our family kind of bad.
Well,
what is that a symptom of?
Right.
Is it holding on the greed or what?
Right. Well, when we see people tend to hoard, right, it's due to some level of depression, right? And but then it has some nostalgia connected with it, right? So I don't want to get rid of this thing because it has a memory attached to it, right? And what happens is if I get rid of it, I get rid of that person or that memory, right? So like say if my dad was a basketball player and he had 20 awards, I can't do nothing with those awards. It's taking up a bunch of space. But if I get rid of those awards that my dad won playing basketball back in the 60s, then I'm getting rid of him. So let me, and he said something that was he said, I'm a neat hoarder, right? So we think of hoarding, we just think, oh my God, this is Fred Sanford's house. Well, it sounds like, hey, well, what he's saying is I keep things in order, but now he can go to counseling to say, do I need to start learning how to get rid of some things? Things that really I know I can really disassociate myself with and get them out my house.
Can you do that without feeling like you're getting rid of the people that those things represent?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, that's my back wall right there. Absolutely. So it's like if I died and Anaya took all these down, her thing may be if I throw away these items, I'm throwing away my dad. You know? So absolutely. It's something attached to things that we're holding on to.
Yes.
Yes.
We might have an after show. If you're on the switchboard, press 1 right now because you got about 2 minutes and the show will be closing. But if you press 1 right now and you're on the switchboard, we can open up the line and take your calls after this. But I know Dr. Khalid Scott has clients and they are waiting on him, and we just want to show you appreciation and show the wall and the work that you do and how you can contact him. And my sister from another, Mr. Vieta says, love you and appreciate you so much, Dr. Khalid.
Yes.
I appreciate that. So I look forward to seeing you all in 3 months. You know,
all right.
You know, we'll talk about spring and healthy mindset, something like that, you know.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And spring cleaning, get rid of all that hoarding.
And then let me say this. As we end the year in 3 more weeks, right now, your homework assignment to everybody listening is that, and I really want you to complete this homework assignment. I want you to take out your note section on your cell phone or grab a pad and pen, and I want you to write down, and I don't want you to say New Year's resolutions. I want you to write new commitments.
New
commitments. And you don't have to give yourself time frames, but the time frames help. But I want you to write down a list of things you're going to be committed to better your life situation. And that's it. That's your homework for the end of 2023.
Wonderful. And contact information for people who need to contact you. I know we have psychologytoday.com.
Right. And then you could call me at 312-43-SCOTT. 312-43-SCOTT. That's 437-2688. And I'm on all social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, and Twitter, or X now.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
X.
So,
all right.
If you didn't get a chance to get those calls in today, you can still contact him at this number, which is 312. I love it. 43-SCOTT.
Yes.
That's the number.
Absolutely.
1243-SCOTT.
Oh, and also the private practice, highachiever.net. www.highachiever.net.
Okay, and I will be posting that on my blog, zeldaspeaks.wordpress.com. So don't worry if you didn't get it now, you will get it later. I promise you, because the information that he has for you is the kind of information that can make a difference in the quality of your life. So be sure and go and check out my blog, zeldaspeaks.wordpress.com, after the show was over with, because I got lots of other information to share with you. Thank you so much, Khalid Scott. We look forward to having you back in March. Tell your clients that we said on the Female Solution, they don't know how lucky they are. And tell them to come see me if they got a problem with that.
Thank you. Love you all. Take care.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
All right.
And thanks for joining us. All righty. We are
officially in the after show. Okay, hold on. People are going to take a quick break while we greet those that have been listening in around the world, and then
we've come to the end of our show today, but you can hear every show in the archives at www.blogtalkradio.com/the-female-solution. You can also hear today's show on the Female Solution Facebook page.
Right back.
Go to www.facebook.com/the-female-solution. Leave your comments about today's show. You can always reach me on my website at www.naimalatif.com. That's www.naimalatif.com. Watch our TV shows, listen to our radio shows, order our books, and be sure to get your copy of the book, The Female Solution. On behalf of our team of radio hosts, I'd like to thank all of you who participated in today's discussion. And to our global family listening from all around the world, we say thank you. To our family in China, Sheshe, India, Zanyaba, Japan, Arigato, Korea, Kamsahamnida, Russia, Spasiba, Germany, Poland, Jean-Claude, France, Merci, Spain, Gracias, Italy, Grazie, Egypt, Shukran, Ghana, Medasi, Nigeria, Eshe, South Africa, Nyabonga, Senegal, Geret, Kenya, Asante, Israel, Toda, Pakistan, Shukriya, Afghanistan, Tashakur, Saudi Arabia, Shukran. Assalam alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you. And may peace be upon you and the mercy of God and God's blessings.
And we are officially in the after show. It is 10:04, and this is the blog. You can check it out later after the show when I get a chance to upload all the information that I have for you from Dr. Scott. Just go to zeldaspeaks.wordpress.com. Probably just say noon today. I'm on vacation, so it might take me a little extra time. Okay.
Yeah.
So, but just do know that we'll have some information there for you. We are officially in the after show.
Yes, and we've got
and I'm going to get me some hot water.
All right. Well, you know, while we think about the seasonal affective disorder that Dr. Khalid Scott talked about, we also have to take a look at what we might be going through in this season, because we have a lot of things coming at us. We have a lot of depressing news, and I thank everybody for sharing. I believe we've got a couple of more callers on the line. Of press one, we'll certainly open your mic, get your thoughts. But one of the things that we are challenged to do is to create a memory of joy. And a lot of what Dr. Scott said in terms of making sure your children have joy, this is the foundation that's going to carry them throughout life. So however you do it, you really do need to give your children memories that can be a cushion for them to land on when they are going through trials as adults, going through difficulties as adults. You need to have some kind of joy you can remember. All your memories as a child are sad, then you're not going to have any way to reset your emotions when you go through a depression. This is why people who tend to suffer from PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, those soldiers that have gone into battle, the ones who have happy childhoods are able to recover after a war. The ones who had sad childhoods, unhappy childhoods, distressful childhoods, they're the ones who collapse emotionally because they don't have anything to balance out the sadness and the distress of war. They don't have a childhood memory of playing in the snow with their friends, or, you know, running through the park, or, you know, having that foot race down the street. You know, they don't have happy memories of laughter and joy to go back to. So they can't cope when life throws them a curve. And those are people who tend to become suicidal because they don't have something that's going to help them reset. So I'm going to take a few calls and get your thoughts. So we're looking at a state of being and a situation that can be very distressful. Seasonal affective disorder is very common. The depression that people feel because they're connecting this season with sad memories. Let me go to.
I wanted to come outside, Naima, so people could see behind me the beach.
Oh, look at this! You got palm trees, y'all. Yes, go to.
I didn't know how the internet access would work out here, so I was safe and do it in my hotel in the room.
Yeah.
But I just had to share this with you so that your eyes can connect to the joy that I'm experiencing, so that you can experience it too. Because all you have to do is close your eyes and breathe and listen to the waves. And that's one of the ways that I relieve stress. And I just want to share this with you. So thank you for allowing me to share you. Well, share with you my balcony from Montego Bay. Now I'm going to go back in the room.
I can be there in my mind if I can't be there in person. Area code 773-677. Your mic is open. Introduce yourself to our listening and viewing audience and give us your thoughts today.
Hi, everyone. My name is Sharon Rowe, and I'm a good friend of Khalid Scott.
Oh, wonderful. Calling.
And also to say, I just appreciate what you guys are doing because, you know, I think seasonal depression and so many things are going around. And I think we as a color, we need to be able to support our community and let them know, normalizing that it's okay to talk to a therapist and it's okay to have support and get that, get the support that you need. And so I just love the fact of what he do and how he is so supportive and has so many great ideas. And so I just wanted to let him know I was supporting him and I appreciate what he does.
And what was your name?
My name is Sharon Rowe.
Sharon Rowe, as in R-O-W. Okay. Well, Miss Sharon Rowe, we thank you so much for calling in. And you know what you say about therapy is so critical for us to grasp. For such a long time, we had this inappropriate attitude that we're supposed to be too tough or toughen up, that we should just, you know, go to church and just pray about it, you know, or give it over to the Lord. You know, I mean, all that's nice, but that's who the Lord works through, your therapist, because you need a person who has lived through some pain and can give you a perspective on your life so that you're not punishing yourself. A lot of what we do is self-condemnation, especially in these times. People saying, oh, you should be cheerful, it's the holidays, and you're depressed and sometimes your friends don't know how to say the right thing. A therapist can help you unravel the reasons for your depression, so you can see maybe you're still grieving that misfortune that happened during your childhood, or that breakup that happened, or that divorce, or that death of a friend. You're still grieving that, or just all kinds of things. You're going through something during a time where the world is telling you to be cheerful, and a therapist can help you get to the underlying causes, and so you can give yourself permission to be sad. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with you. You're a human being, and we need to make therapy something that is culturally accepted among Black people, because so many of us need it and won't go.
Because, I think one of the unfortunate part is that a lot of people don't realize the stats. I think they say, like with the CDC, 1 in 5 adults have experienced mental health issues this last year, and then 1 in 6 kids. And so that means that so many people affected by mental health, and they don't realize mental health and physical health go hand in hand.
Yes.
We need to be able, especially in our community, address it, because I think sometimes we live in a world where we don't want to be singled out and say, you know what, something is wrong with me. And you find that a lot of people suffer in silence. And that's so important to normalize. It's okay to get, it's okay to talk to a therapist.
You need to talk to somebody, even if it's not a therapist. And talk to yourself too. You'd be surprised what might come out your mouth, because the ancestors are always talking to you. So you gotta listen.
Yeah, that's true. And we thank you so much, Sharon, for sharing today. Absolutely. You need to talk.
Well, for what you all are doing.
Yeah, so we appreciate you, and feel free to call in anytime. We're on 7 days a week. Thank you so much.
And be sure and share this video with someone, because somebody needs to hear this morning. When Dr. Scott said that slap that Will Smith gave Chris Rock was not about what we think it was about. It was from his father, who abused his mother as a child, and he couldn't do anything about it. And that all that anger was in him from his childhood. And I said, wow, that is profound. I never thought about it that way, because number one, I'm not a clinician.
Yeah,
I'm not a doctor. I don't have experience in that field. I teach mindfulness about being in this moment, but I can't tell you about how to deal with the trauma from 20 years ago, because I'm still dealing with my own trauma from 20 years ago. And I thank Andrew Nelson Bay, who always blesses us with bean pies. Lord have mercy.
He blesses us with some more. I got to give him to some unhoused people today. I eat them for myself.
Yeah, so thank you, Andrew Nelson Bill. Thank you, Andrew Nelson Bay, for sharing your pies, but also sharing that you're a neat hoarder, because in your saying that, I heard myself saying that I was a neat hoarder, because Naima, I'm going through the process and now cleaning out everything, closet, drawers, cabinets, getting rid of stuff that I no longer use. I got stuff, we all got stuff we ain't using 5 or 10 years. If you still have it and you haven't used it in 5 or 10 years, you need to give it to somebody who can use it.
Absolutely.
But I also understand the emotional and mental attachments that I have to some things. So it's like I put things at the door and they sit there for a week, because my thing is that like, I'm gonna take them out, I'm gonna get it out of here. And I look up, a week passed and it's still sitting there. So I have to go and sit and have a conversation with myself. And I said, so why is that still that box of goods that that could help somebody else? Why is it still sitting at the front door? And you say every time you're gonna walk out the door, you're gonna take something, and you don't. So I go sit and have that conversation. And then I realized what Dr. Scott said about the mental and emotional attachments that I have with that. So if I give that away, I'm also giving away the love that person shared with me when they gave me that object. No, that's not what you're doing. You're giving it to somebody who can use it. But that's the mental attachment that we have attached to the thing that brought us joy.
Right.
That we no longer need. So give it to somebody else so they can enjoy it too.
I mean, if you've got clothing, there might be clothing of a dear loved one, but if you know, number one, you can't fit it, or number two, you don't have enough space in your closet, and you know that other people need clothing, then give it away in their honor, in your mind. If you okay, I'm sharing.
Yeah, I like that. In their honor, yeah.
You know, so that you don't feel like, well, I'm giving away that
And
stuff.
say that when you give it away, and if you're scared to say it, just say it in your mind. Thank you for that, Naeem. Thank you.
Yes, because it's hard, you know, when someone passes away, and they have a lot of clothes, and you know that they're just going to sit there in your closet. It's hard to give them away unless you can think of it differently.
Right.
Not thinking of it as you're giving them away, or you're, you know, giving away your memories, and you know, and they always say don't do anything right away after someone transitions. You know, don't make any sudden moves. I'm gonna throw out everything. I didn't do that. I think it was maybe 10 years past before I got, you know, gave away some of my husband things. A lot of things I still have, you know. There are things I gave, and before he transitioned, we went over all of his stuff and who he's going to give to, so I could really give away most of the things to people that he had designated. But it's so easy over a period of 40 or 50 years to collect so many people who've transitioned, you know, this person's things, that person's things, that person's things. And if you own a house, pretty soon you are going to have clutter. And just probably everybody I know who has a house, they're like Andrew, you know, neat hoarders. But it's like, you know, all the tables are full of stuff, all the closets are jammed full of stuff, every shelf on, and you know it's stuff they can't really use, but you're saving memories, and you run out of space. So you have to figure out a way to hold the memory in your mind, but get rid of the physical representation. Otherwise, you're not going to have space to even enjoy your home. It's going to be so.
I have a relative who pays several $100s a month
for
storage.
Yes, I have friends doing
that. Cannot use, and he never will use. He's bedridden, and he can't walk, but he refuses to let go.
Yes.
Things that brought him joy, and I understand that, so I don't criticize him. I just give him love.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell anybody who has storage space. The only thing storage space is good for is if you are in transition from one home to the next. But you should not pay more than 3 months for storage. If you're paying more than that, you need to give those things away, because number one, either you don't have enough current space in your home for it, and you're not going to. And then the second thing is, whatever's in storage, you have more than paid for its value. If you paid more than 3 months of storage, you've bought that stuff over and over and over again. So it doesn't make economic sense for you to hold on to it. Let it go, sell it or whatever, but do not pay more than 3 months for storage space.
And the only reason why it's hard is because we have those emotional attachments to them. And and we think those emotional attachments will be lost if we give their things away. No, they won't.
No,
they will, because they're in your heart, in your mind, in your body, in your spirit. So they're always with you. We're just used to something tangible because we haven't been taught to live in the spiritual realm. Because we're spiritual beings having a human experience, but we're trying to hold on to that humanity. No.
Yeah, that physical representation. I used to save everything. I mean, I would save flyers for events. I would
Me too.
Magazines. I had drawers full of stuff, old papers, and it really took me a minute to let go of 30-year-old memories. It's like, okay, this event happened and it's over with. I really don't need this flyer to remind me of how much. I don't need that. It's a memory in my mind. Let it go. I don't need the paper, because after a while, your place will become a fire hazard. You know, you have paper and
can't walk through the door.
Can't walk through the door. So, but it's a hard thing. Memories are good, and you always want to have good memories. And life is about memories. Figure out how to hold on to the good memories without always having to need a physical representation, and figure out how to let go of the negative memories that make you sad. Because if you keep reliving a sad moment over and over and over again, you're recreating that, even though it only happened once. But you just keep recreating that same sad feeling. You're doing that to yourself. No one else is doing that. And that's where that's what trauma is, when you keep reliving a sad experience. Now, it's one thing, and I know it's difficult, because we talked about, and I appreciate Baba Kwame sharing his experience with his mother. We talked about that last night on Viada's show. If we can change how we think about transitions, they don't have to be tragic things that we keep reliving grief. Yeah, you're going to go through that cycle of grief like Dr. Khalid talked about. But after you've gone through the grief, you have to replace the idea of I lost my loved one, because no one's lost, no one's ever gone. They're just no longer embodied. And they are where you will be when you leave here. It's difficult if a person's like between belief systems, faith or whatever, they're not sure. And I would just, there are some websites that I would urge people to go to help them through the process of redefining how they see the transition of a loved one. They are not gone. They've just gone ahead of you to wait for you when you return. That's all they did. So just like, okay, Zelda's in Jamaica right now. Let's say Jamaica is like your time on Earth.
Yeah, man.
Having a good time. But she's going to return back to Chicago. So here I'm waiting. I'm in Chicago waiting for her to return home. So look at me as someone who's transitioned, and Zelda, who's somebody who's having an Earth experience. When it's time, she's going to return. I'll be here. Hey, how was your trip? Oh, I had a great time. That's what happens to your people who transition. They got people waiting for them to welcome them when they get there and ask them, well, how was the journey? How was the trip? And they're going to say, oh, I did this, I did that. Oh, really? How do you like it? Well, what'd you learn? Well, I learned this, I did that. That's what's happening to them. They're enjoying their return home. And they'll be sitting there waiting for you when you return home from your vacation here on Earth. That's all it is. So it's nothing to be sad about. When we understand that on a deeper level, not a hope or faith, but a knowing, then we don't grieve as hard. Yes, you miss them, you miss their physical expression, but they are still here, just living elsewhere.
In a spiritual form, they're in a physical body where you can reach out and touch them. And see, that's what the church teaches us. We gotta touch it. No, you don't. You gotta feel them in your heart.
Yes, and when you can feel them, then they can communicate with you.
And you can listen and hear, get the answers you need to what you need to know. Because it's waiting to tell you, but you're too busy. You're on the cell phone, you're on the radio, you're talking about.
Right.
You're communicating with you. Go to the beach.
Right.
Go to the park.
Yes.
Walk among nature.
Yes.
Do you? But you gotta get some nature in, because that's where the answers are. The trees are talking to us all the time. We're too busy doing what we're doing to hear them. So.
Right. Now I know a couple of people had a couple more comments to me. I know Baba Kwame had another comment, and
let's get those calls, because we only got 6 minutes. Because at 9:30, I'm out of here. I am on vacation. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So
Baba, I gave y'all 30 minutes of my day this morning. I mean, an hour and a half.
Hour and a half. 2 hours and a half. Yes. So Baba Kwame, you had a thought?
Yes, and it's very important in how we redefine our people, our loved ones' transition.
Yes.
Because there is no death. The part that we have to understand is that we cannot understand the language of spirit. You can, if you are connected with nature, because when we walk in nature, nature communicates with us. It isn't a language. It's a feeling and a vibration. And what we have to do is to retune in, to recalibrate how to talk to spirit. Because this is what we are as a bit. We just use language and spell words in order to communicate. But the frequency of love is the highest frequency. And we made a word for it, LOVE, life's only valuable equivalent. LOVE, life's only valuable equivalent.
Mm-hmm.
And so what we're understanding is how do we look into a baby's eyes and we feel the love. And baby is not talking. It is sending us the vibration of love that is in it when it was born.
Yes.
We all carry it.
Yes.
What we're looking at is that love left, it exited the body, but the frequency of that being is always in us.
Yes,
we hear with the ear of our heart, we will always hear our loved ones.
Yes, we will. Yes, we will. I'm going to suggest that people just Google one thing and you'll see a lot of different websites. Google near-death experience. There are so many people who have been revived on the operating table or who had heart attacks, died, came back. There are more people in this season who are sharing what happens on the other side so that we can know for certainty that life is a continuance. And they're being sent back to tell us that, because it's time for us to remember so that we're not living in a state of fear over death, because as you just said, there is no death. There's only return to spirit from whence we came. So we need to know for certainty so that we can live our lives differently, because when we leave here, we want to feel good about what we did, just like Zella's feeling good about being in Jamaica, and she's having a good time. So when she comes back, she's going to bring that good memory back with her, and she's going to leave good memories with the people there. That's what the earth experience is for. So we want to let people know this so that they're not grieving.
One part, and the thing is that we have to realize something. Every night when we go to sleep, our body is resting, our spirit
is traveling,
travels and goes and communicates and goes.
Yes.
So that's the death experience. Your spirit travels.
Yes.
And we have a memory when we remember the dreams or the persons that we talk to in the dream time. That is what we're talking about. That spirit.
And just so we know,
we come back to conscious. We come back to the conscious because we're in the subconscious.
Yes.
And the spirit leaves, OBE, out of body experience. I deja vu. I was here before. You've already traveled and done it.
Yeah.
We have to know how to remember. We're a member of the cosmic citizenship. We're a member of the galactic. These are the memories that we have to understand, how we know the known and the unknown.
Absolutely.
This is the human experience.
That is it. And this is what we want people to remember. And as you say about the dream time, this is how those who've transitioned can reach you, because you are in the spirit realm in the dream time. So if you have a dream of someone, that's how they can talk to you. That's how they can reach you, because you're both in spirit. So when you sleep at night, just look for that person who you love to come to you while you're both in spirit. And that's how they can continue to communicate with you. So be comforted and be in joy, because no one is lost. We're all right here, still loving each other in life. So I know we've got to go, and thank you all so much. I think we had a caller that pressed 1-312-882. You got about 30 seconds real quick before we go. Sam, your thought real quick before we sign off.
Well, shalom, assalamu alaikum. Yes, Sister Naima, this is Minister Plum. I'm talking now. Come on, Rashida. All right, I'm on my way downtown with Rashida Ali now on the Edberg case. That's why I need them, the press, you know what I mean? Badge and everything, beloved.
All right. Well, my people will be there, and we certainly appreciate you always being on the case, and we'll look for your report on what happened today as we continue to follow the events of our lives in Chicago, America, and the world. Thank you so much, Minister Plump. And thank you for joining us
All the way from Montego Bay. Montego Bay, Mo-Bay. We call it here Mo-Bay. I just want you to see that. Isn't that gorgeous? I got up at 5 o'clock this morning just so I could capture that cruise ship coming in. Even though that wasn't a cruise ship that I was on. I wasn't on the ship at all. But I took these pictures. I got a whole lot of videos that I'm going to post. But this is what I saw this nature. And that just gave me so much joy. And I just wanted to share that with you. So thank you so much for being here with me. And Montego Bay, Jamaica. What I said, Montego Bay, Jamaica? Okay. Jamaica, man. I can't wait to get out. This is my day to go with something. Here's rain. I don't care what it's doing. It's hot. That's all I care about.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
We appreciate you. Stay on purpose. Stay empowered. And stay tuned to your next Monday Morning Mindfulness. And tomorrow morning, join Zoe. Shopping with Zoe, you're going to learn a whole much more than you anticipated. So be sure to share this video with someone. Make it a day, and thank you.
Are you stressed out?
And for sharing.
Are you ready to learn some quick techniques on how to de-stress immediately? Then book your free 30-minute consultation with Zelda Speaks, the Mindfulness Stress Relief Coach, at higherlearningnetwork.org. Thanks for sharing.